All right, we're going to go over the density quiz here and kind of look to see where we might have run into some problems with this. In completing this review, if you get all of the questions right on the review quiz, then I will allow you to retake this for partial credit on the retake. So let's go over and let's see some questions. The retake will be identical to this. We will just have changed the numbers and the answers. But the formatting will be the same, and the general style of questions will be the same as well. So pay attention to this, take good notes, look at what you missed, and think, why did you miss that question? So looking at, first off, begin with, this is a density chart. Okay, this is not a volume chart, this is not a mass chart, it is a density chart, and basically tells us if we look up the density of certain items, we can identify that items. Now, one of the key things of that means density can't change. If I have lithium, for instance, at 0.53 grams per cubic centimeter, that's all lithium. It doesn't matter if I've got a little speck of lithium or if I've got 2 tons of lithium. It'll always be 0.53 grams per cubic centimeter. So we can use density to identify things because it does not change. We can use these density charts. There's no such thing as a mass chart because I could have 5 grams of cork, or I could have 100 pounds of cork. The mass doesn't tell me what the item is. Or the volume, if I had like a little, speck of quartz, well, let's go with quartz. If I had a speck of quartz that was 1 cubic centimeter, that was 1 centimeter by 1 centimeter by 1 centimeter, and then if I had a giant block of quartz, well, that was 1,000 cubic centimeters, well, the volume wouldn't tell me it's quartz because I got different volumes, but density will always be the same. It'll always be 2.7 grams per cubic centimeter for quartz. So looking at the density chart, number 1, 2 substances that will sink in mercury. Remember, less dense items will float in a substance that has a less than the density of the substance that is floating in, and they will sink in the substance if they are more dense. We typically use water at 1. We say if it's less than 1, like 0.91 or 0.85, they would float. So water, things like ice and oak wood and lithium and cork, those are items that will float in water. If they have densities greater than the substance you're trying to float it in, it will sink. So quartz or sand, that will sink if you put it in water. Silver and copper and mercury, all these items down here have densities greater than 1. With this one, we're not asking about water, though. We're asking about mercury. So mercury has a density of 13.6 grams per milliliter because it's a liquid. Remember, we use milliliters whenever we're talking about liquids and cubic centimeters whenever we're talking about solids. But in this case, it says, what are 2 items that will sink in mercury? Well, there's only 2 items that have densities greater than mercury. These are the only 2 items that will sink, gold and platinum. Write that down, platinum. So that is the answer. All these other items, if you listed anything else, they are less dense than mercury and would float if you dropped them in mercury. So these are the only 2 items on here that are more dense. If I pick something else like magnesium, at 1.74. If I asked you what would float in magnesium, it would be ice and oak wood and water and all these things that are less dense. If I asked what would sink in magnesium, it'd be all the items below it. So these would all be the ones that sink because they have densities greater than the density of magnesium. All right.